On this channel, I share my dreams and talk about how God uses those dreams to talk to me and to help others. Today, I'm going to talk about how it is that I pray for people and they get healed, and yet God has not healed me. So I've been diagnosed with about 4 autoimmune illnesses, and I've been struggling with these illnesses for about 13 years. And in the meantime, right, God has me praying for people who He does heal. A few years ago, my mom told me about this woman in her church who was having seizures after seizures. Every day she was having like 20, 30 seizures. And no matter what medicine she got, the seizures would not come under control. So she asked me to pray for that woman. I did. Seizures gone. There was another woman in her church group who had cancer, and the cancer had spread. And my mom came to me and she said, could you pray for her? And I did. Cancer gone, right? My daughter was having seizures. Put my hands on her, prayed for her, seizures gone. My mom, who had liver cancer, took a turn for the worse and was on her way out. She was very, very, very sick. God had me put my hand on my mom's shoulder, whisper some words He told me, and she was healed. It's like, 7 years later, my mom's still alive, doing very well. And so it's been like that. A few years ago, there was a crusade at the church I was going to at the time. And when the pastor gave the altar call, I went up. And he's going down the line and he's, touching people and he's saying things to them. And when he got to me, he put his hand on my hand and he said, God has a special work for you to do. And I was just bursting with happiness inside. I was so happy. And when I was walking to my seat, I was like, yes, God, thank you. When I got to my seat, I said, God, thank you so much. Because if you have something special for me to do, you're going to heal me. And he said, no, no, you are going to become complacent. And I can't even explain to you what that feeling was like. A kind of depression came over me right there in the church. I could not believe that the answer was no. What? You're refusing to heal me? How is that? I've been your faithful servant since I was 7 years old. Like, why are you not healing me? I couldn't understand it. And I struggled with it for a while. I went to a prayer meeting. And sitting in a prayer meeting, I was not in the best of moods or in the best of spirits. And afterwards, God sent somebody over to me. This woman took my hands and she said, listen, she said, just like it was for Paul, God's grace is sufficient for you. That's it. That kind of gave me a little bit of peace. So I went home and searched for the passage. Paul talked about the thorn that he had in his flesh to keep him humble, that he asked God to remove. And God said no. And he said to Paul that my grace is sufficient for you because my power is made perfect in weakness. And I could be bitter about the fact that God has not healed me yet. He uses me to heal others, but it is not my will. I haven't asked Him to heal me again because no is no, right? And maybe at some time in the future, He might decide to heal me. But if He doesn't, that's okay, because I have to live on His grace. I have to trust that He's going to take care of me. But one thing I can say is that whenever I have symptoms, He takes those away. I remember I was driving for 6 hours and my hands started hurting me. And I just held my hands up and I said, Joshua, my hands. And immediately the pain was gone. It sounds funny, but sometimes I thank God for my pain because it keeps me close to Him. It keeps me dependent on Him. It reminds me to be humble. It reminds me to just trust in God always. And so, yeah, I'm not mad about it. I've come to accept it. If you have an ailment, you have an illness, a disease, know that God cares about you. And if you call on Him, He will answer. Keep in mind, though, that everything is according to His will. So if He says no, we just have to live with it. And it's like our earthly parents. I don't say yes to my children for everything because I know what is best for them. So God knows what is best for us. If we keep that in mind, then we don't get bitter when He says no. We just accept it and just keep going. Thank you so much for sticking with me to the end. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment. So until next time, gentle people, blessings.